It started with the kind of meeting you never forget. The air in the HR office was heavy, the kind of silence that makes you hear your own heartbeat. My manager sat across from me, her lips curled into a smug half-smile that told me everything before she even spoke. "Kira," she said, with fake sympathy dripping from her voice, "after 15 years, we're restructuring your position." I felt a chill crawl down my spine, but I kept my face calm. 15 years of dedication, late nights, saving projects that weren't even my responsibility, gone in one short, polished sentence. "Clean out your desk by Friday," she added. I forced a polite smile and simply replied, "Completely understand." But deep down, I already knew something she didn't. Monday was going to be fun. As I walked out of that glass office, the fluorescent lights of the hallway seemed harsher than usual. My hands were trembling, but not from sadness, this was something else. Rage and clarity mixed in a strange, electric way. I had given half my life to that company. I trained new hires who later became my superiors. I stayed loyal when competitors offered better pay. And now, this woman, with her corporate smile and designer suit, decided I was expendable. But the truth was, she had no idea how much of the company's foundation rested quietly in the spreadsheets, systems, and strategies that only I understood. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my apartment surrounded by old notebooks, emails, and documents. Every process, every shortcut, every client contact I had cultivated, it was all stored up here, in my head. My mind was racing, but not with anger. It was strategy. For years, they'd taken my loyalty for granted. But now, they were about to experience what happens when the person who holds the strings lets go. By Thursday, the office was buzzing with rumors. Some said I was being phased out, others whispered that I wasn't adapting to new management. I didn't care. I just smiled and nodded while quietly setting things in motion. I had already accepted a consulting offer from a rival firm, a small but hungry company that had been chasing one of our biggest clients for years. That client trusted me personally, not the company. And I knew exactly what my departure would mean to them. Friday came. I walked into the office early, my resignation letter neatly folded in my bag. My manager greeted me with that same false politeness. "I hope there are no hard feelings, Kira," she said. I smiled. "None at all. I'll be fine." I handed her the letter. She didn't even read it right away. She just nodded, assuming it was the end of me. But I knew it was only the beginning. Monday morning, my phone started lighting up before I'd even finished my coffee. The first call was from one of our major clients, the same one I'd personally handled for over a decade. They wanted to move their account to me, at my new company. Then another client called, and another. Within hours, I was watching a quiet storm unfold. The firm I had built from the ground up without recognition was suddenly crumbling without me. The best part, every single client cited the same reason for leaving: we only trusted Kira. By Wednesday, chaos had set in at my old office. Former colleagues began messaging me in disbelief. "What happened?" one of them asked. "The boss is losing it. She didn't realize how much you actually did here." Another messaged me later that night. "She's begging corporate for help." It's bad. I couldn't help but smile. There it was, the sweet taste of poetic justice. But I wasn't finished yet. See, my new employer wasn't just happy to have the clients. They gave me full creative control over restructuring their own internal systems. And guess what? I modeled their framework based on everything my old company did wrong. I made sure every weakness I'd witnessed over 15 years became our competitor's strength. My manager had replaced me with a cheaper, inexperienced hire, someone who barely understood the systems I'd built. So while my old team was drowning in confusion, my new team was thriving on efficiency and confidence. Weeks later, I heard that my old manager was being restructured herself. Corporate had lost faith in her leadership after the client fallout. She had gone from smug to desperate, blaming everyone around her. But it didn't matter anymore. I had already moved on. When I walked into my new office, sunlight spilling through the tall windows, I felt a sense of calm I hadn't known in years. It wasn't just revenge, it was freedom. I sometimes think about that moment in HR, the way she looked at me like I was a problem being solved. I realize now that she did me a favor. Without her arrogance, I would have stayed loyal to a place that never truly valued me. Her cruelty forced me to rediscover my own worth. Justice doesn't always come from shouting or fighting back in anger. Sometimes, it's as quiet as success. It's that peaceful moment when the person who underestimated you finally realizes that you were never replaceable, you were the backbone all along. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button, share your own stories in the comments, and subscribe for more tales that prove karma always finds its way.